Hey, Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David. Let's get into this. Excuse me, one moment. Y'all finna hear a lot of noise. I'm finna try to set this up. That's better. Like this phone just catches a lot of background noises, and I know that can be a little bit irritating, but bear with me. But yeah, now, ow, it's a lot, yeah, noise like that. But I went back and rewatched the video again, and I realized something. A lot of people don't understand what hell is, don't understand the burning, the lake of fire, and I want to, basically I want to do something on the lake of fire. America will be the lake of fire, America will be a lake of fire. It's not a spiritual place you're going to go to. Nah, that lake of fire will be America, Once some thermonuclear missiles are shot, those arrows are shot at America, America's gonna burn up. Because you gotta think, for those of you who are new, you gotta think. If you don't have the words for missile or nukes, what word would you use to describe them? You're in the past, like you're 2,000. You're in the past 2,000 years ago. You don't have the word for a missile or a nuke. What word would you use to describe it? You'll what? Call them an arrow. You'll call them an arrow. And back then the prophets, they used those descriptions to the best of their ability to describe things that they didn't have words for, because they saw the visions, and they saw America being destroyed with thermonuclear fire. Let's get into this. Listen, we're gonna start with okay, I got you. We're gonna start with Revelations chapter 15 verse 1. Listen. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. It's of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Shai. Now, when we talk about Revelations, what are we talking about? We talking about what? The end times, the last days, Now, you would have to be very, very foolish to not believe that we are not in the last days. Even the Christians, they believe that we are in the last days. So the scriptures are talking about these countries that are in place now. Like what? America, EU, Russia, Iran, all the rest of the places, Japan or China. The scriptures, these kingdoms, these scriptures that these countries, these so-called countries that are described as kingdoms, those are what the scriptures are talking about. And that's why we say America will be burnt up, will be the lake of fire, because it's that place where all the abomination is, And we gonna we're gonna let scripture talk. Verse 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having harps of Yahweh Shem Shai. Now, what it means to stand on the sea of glass? This is saying they're above the atmosphere, looking down looking down from a high vantage point, looking down on America, seeing it burn it up, seeing it on fire. Because what scripture says, when you're gonna be saved, y'all call it the rapture. I know Christians call it the rapture, which is, incorrect. But they gonna, the elect gonna be saved, taken into the chariots, those chariots, before this place is destroyed. Well, as this place is about to get destroyed, and they're gonna be looking down once they receive those new bodies. They're gonna be looking down on earth and that America, seeing how this place is being destroyed by fire. Because you gotta think, if everybody's about to shoot thermonuclear missiles at America, how much explosions, how much fire is that gonna create? You know. Now we finna talk about that fire explosions and stuff. We're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna get this first. This is Revelations chapter 17, verse 15. Y'all bear with me. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are people, multitudes, and nations and tongues. Verse 16. And he said unto me, the waters, verse 15, and 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Now who's this whore? Who's this whore? America. And we're gonna jump up. To verse 5. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 5. Listen. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. Now, it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because Revelations was written way after the time of Neo-Babylon, or Babylon, So it's not talking about that ancient Babylon. It's talking about that new Babylon. The mother of harlot. What's a harlot? A whore. And what did the scripture say? In verse 16 and 17? We're going to jump down. And these shall hate the whore, the mother of harlots. That mother of harlots, which is America, while she's a whore. Who promotes same-sex marriages, glorifying being a whore, glorify, doing all these abominable works on the earth. The main location, the main hub is America, because everybody else is against it. That is an indicator. That is one of the major indicators that this place is that whore. That this place is Mystery Babylon. That this place is Mystery Babylon. Now I want to get this. My point finna come together at the end. I know some of y'all already understand it, but y'all finna see what I'm doing while I'm putting together. Listen, back in verse 16, listen. It's saying the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and make... Excuse me, I want to get 15. Salakia. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are people, multitudes, and nations, and tongues. All these people, all these different people. What they call America? The molten pot. That molten pot. Because they got all these people, nations, and tongues. Now what are people? They are flesh. But also you can break down a man to elements like water, saltpeter, sulfur, all these other stuff. The body is made up of what? Elements. You know? The body is made up of elements. You know? Listen. It's gonna make sense. Listen, this is Revelations chapter 20, verse 10. Listen, let me get this verse. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and false prophet are, and he shall be tormented into day and night forever and ever. Like, this is not talking about like actually forever and ever. When you get here forever and ever, that's talking about an everlasting memorial. Why? Because scripture says that when you go into it, but let me ask you a question. Is Sodom and Gomorrah still burning? No, but scripture does say that Sodom and Gomorrah will burn forever and ever, but there's not a place on earth that's burning forever and ever. It's not literally talking forever and ever. It's talking about an everlasting memorial, because once you bring up Sodom and Gomorrah, what's the first thing that comes to mind? How that place was destroyed by fire, by brimstone. You know? I just want to get that before I get this. Just get, look, people are made of what? Elements. People are made of elements. Listen. This is Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 20. Listen. And as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it, to melt it. Did you hear that? To melt it. So I will gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. People are going to be melted. People are going to be melted, you know? No, stay with me, it's going to make sense. Listen, this is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 24. Listen, therefore said the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of my adversaries and avenge me of my enemies. I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away the dross and take away all thy tin. And when you refine the silver, those are the things that melt off. Those other metals and elements to purify silver, to purify gold. And I restore thy judges as the first, and thy counselors as the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Now those the dross is what? It's gonna be the 2/3 of his people. Cause he gonna melt them away and only take that goodly out of it. He's gonna melt them away and only take that goodly out of it. Listen, I'm gonna get this. I'm trying to get all my precept before I get to explaining. Listen. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. Listen. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which heaven shall pass away with a great noise. Listen. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth shall also, and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Did you hear that? Now that we got all that, I want to ask y'all something. What does metal look like when it's heated to the most highest degree? What does it look like? It look like lava. Now I'm gonna ask you something. What is molten rock? Hot rock, molten rock. I just said it. It is lava. What is this place made out of? Concrete and metal, along with the people. along with the people. He said, I will leave you there and melt you. This place is about to be, it's going to be burnt up with fervent heat. Now, when you're up in the atmosphere, when you're saved, when you're delivered from the destruction of America, and when you look down, he saw what they say in Revelation chapter 15, verse 2, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with the fire. A sea, you seeing a sea of fire. A sea of fire, what? Because all the elements from the concrete to the melter to the people are all melted in this one place. It's going to look like a place of lava. When all them thermonuclear missiles hit America, this place will be the lake of fire. All that fire that hits America is going to melt America. And it's going to look like lava. It's going to look like lava. That America will be the lake of fire. And what happens to lava once it dries up? Once it cool down, it turn to earth. It turn earthy and stuff like that. That's why the scripture said this place is going to be a desert. Because I know when people think of desert, they think of just sand, but nah, there's parts of the desert that are just like hard rock. And when lava cool down, it becomes what? Hard rock. So America will be the lake of fire. I just want to give y'all that description, that visual, so y'all can understand what the scriptures is talking about. Now, I do, I have a little funny way. It's just the way my mind works. I know I'm a bit autistic, like literally. But I hope y'all did, was edified and be able to understand it. And if possible, if a brother hear this and y'all, heard something or y'all can explain it better, I will love that to edify the flock and those who listen in, So with that, I hope you was edified. Again, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hope elect, the house of David. Until next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom.